Hi, Caitlin. How you doing? Okay, so we talked about the contemporary feel and the fact that actually I kind of want to jump back there because I did give you some. This was my comments for your thumbnails, and basically I was saying that the description of Minotaur Publishing includes terms like contemporary, cutting edge, and ideologically progressive. So that points away from traditional monogram and points directly to this kind of very contemporary look. And I think you understood that with your sketches, and I think that some of the sketches really reflected that. And the main sketch that I was keying on was this one right here, because I think this one is really showing this kind of contemporary flair. Even though it's a serif typeface, it's such that it's got some really nice embellishments to it that really point to this like kind of contemporary, ideologically progressive visual flair. And I think that was really effective. Now let's jump over to the execution. I think the execution falls short for a couple of reasons. The main reason is this, is that you see these points right here? These are really sharp, sharp, sharp points. And in terms of visual communication, which a lot of basic visual communication is based on survival. So in other words, when we see something that is bright red and got points, it indicates pain and danger. Therefore, we are somewhat psychologically, we reject things like that as being comforting and something that you want to approach. That's why stop signs are red. Okay, and you get the idea from there. So in terms of basic visual communications, these points right here, they indicate pain and danger. And it's really a risky thing to include really sharp points in any kind of logo. The other day I was driving by a dentist's office and I looked at the sign that's visible from the street and it was really sharp and pointy. And I thought to myself, boy, I wish that dentist just kind of knew exactly what he was getting himself into when he hired the person to design that logo, because it indicates pain clearly, and that could ultimately affect that man's business. Okay, and I'm seeing the same thing here. I'm seeing these sharp, sharp points indicating pain, danger, and psychologically that's for sure causing a visual kind of psychological rejection of the logo. And that's true in really any visual communication, unless, of course, you're indicating things like, heavy metal music or things like that, where these points and these kind of indications of danger and sharpness and those are expected. Think of the Metallica logo, for example. Okay, so and another reason you don't want to come down with these really super fine little points is because at small sizes, they fall apart, they disappear, they're gone, completely gone. See what I'm saying? So for that reason, I think that you've taken kind of an execution here that is not as effective as it can be. The other thing I think is that the M and the P are too far apart in terms of proximity. So whenever, again, back to basic visual communication, we have a term called proximity. And proximity basically means that if things are located closely together, psychologically, the mind says, okay, they belong together. Well, I think the P and the M are too far apart. And I think that they're not indicating that they are part of the same group. They're closely related. Okay, so for that reason, I would go back to more something like this. Instead of the sharp points, use serifs. Use that curly P right there that comes across over the stem of the P, and this loop right here. And also try to make it as such that the stroke weight itself is thick enough that it holds together at small sizes instead of disappearing. Okay, that would be my recommendation for moving forward. But I think that, okay, I hope that makes sense. The other thing, again, is that even at this size right here, I think we have right here, see that little loop right there? It's really tiny and it closes down. Again, we can see like right there, it's almost closed down completely. So it looks like a dot instead of a loop. See what I'm saying? Okay, so those would be my recommendations moving forward. If you have any questions, comments, or if I need to clarify anything at all, please let me know. I'll be glad to do so. All right, thanks very much, Caitlin.